Good morning, algebra. This is kind of like the highlights of 8-6, factoring x squared plus bx plus c. Now this is probably the only lesson where you won't have to look for a greatest common factor because your leading coefficient is 1. And 1 is a factor of every number. Now if you had an x cubed, you might have a GCF of x. I don't think you're going to have any of those. Okay, so when I want to look at this, and my notes are good, so make sure you look at the notes. C is a product. We talked about this last week. C is a product, B is a sum or a difference. C as a product is important because it tells me something. Now think about it. If you're multiplying two numbers, if it's positive, you know something. The signs are the same. Okay? The signs are the same. If the signs are the same, I know I'm going to have an x plus, or an x minus. I can tell that by looking at C, if it's positive. If it's not, if C is negative, well, how do you get a negative number? A positive times a negative number. So I know if C is negative, I'm going to have an x plus and an x minus. And I can tell that just by looking at C. Okay, so why do I say B is a sum or a difference? Well, if you add two numbers and the sign is the same, you're going to add. But if the signs are different, it's a difference. Okay, so B tells me about the signs. Okay? Now, you might have seen in my notes that I look at this product and I make my little times tables. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. I do that all over the place. Why? Any ideas? See this number 24? I could have 16 different expressions with a 24 as a product. 16. If I write my list and I come to another product of 24, I can just come back to this one. Okay, so this tells me it's positive, signs are the same, plus plus or minus minus. This tells me plus plus, and I'm looking for a sum of 14. So I already know x plus something, x plus something. And then I just look over here and say, well, which ones have a sum of 14? 2 and 12. Does it matter which one goes where? Nope. Commutative property says it can go either way. All right, minus 30. This being negative already tells me I'm going to have a y plus and a y minus. I know that. So I look at my factors of 30. 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 5 times 6. Okay? Now, minus, that means this is a difference. Which ones have a difference of 7? 3 and 10. Now, see how this is a minus 7? That means the big one goes here. Okay? It's going to be a minus 10 and a plus 3. Because it's got to be more negative than it is positive. Okay, now if that would have been a plus 7, it would have been the other way around. Okay, all right. Ooh, I circled that one. Did I do that on purpose? Yep, what's wrong with this? Hopefully you're looking at that and saying, Susan, it's not in standard form. So we got to rewrite it. X squared plus 4x minus 21. The only time I wouldn't rewrite it and put it in standard form was if I had a difference of squares. Okay? And then I'd leave it as it is. Okay, so minus 21 tells me I'm going to have an x plus and I'm going to have an x minus. This plus tells me the bigger one goes here. All right, 21 doesn't have too many factors. 3 times 7. All right. Got to be 3 and 7. They have a difference of 4. And because this is positive, I know the 7 goes here and the 3 goes here. They check with FOIL. X squared minus 3 plus 7 gives me my plus 4 minus 21. Okay? Solving. Okay, I do the same thing. I've got to factor it first. So I'm looking at that plus 54. Ooh, the signs are the same. This tells me they're both minus. So I already know x minus 54. Do you know your factors of 54? 2 goes in, 3 goes in, 4 does not, 5 does not, 6 goes in because 2 and 3 do. Okay, 2 times 27, 3 times 18, 6 times 9. Okay, so I'm looking for, remember, this is plus, this is a sum. I'm looking for a sum of 15, that's my 6 and 9. Doesn't matter which one goes where because commutative property, the signs are the same. Okay, now it equals 0. I'm solving. You probably can look at this and say, oh, what's going to make that equal to 0? X has to equal 6. What's going to make that equal to 0? X equals 9. So I've got 2 answers. This is part of your answer. Okay? 2 parts, factored and solutions. Okay, next one. X plus 12x equals negative 32. Well, it doesn't equal 0. So the first thing I've got to do is set it equal to 0. X squared plus 12x plus 32 equals 0. Okay, this tells me signs are the same. This tells me they're both positive. X plus, factors of 32. Let's see, 1 times 32, 2 times 16, 4 times 8. Okay, I think that's it. All right, so have a, did I miss something? Oh, have a sum of 12. That's 4 and 8. Okay. Okay, you might be able to look at that and say, oh, I know what my answers are. X has to equal negative 4 here, and X has to equal negative 8, and that's okay. But you need your factored form and your solutions. All right, oh, look at this next one. See, I told you. There's that plus 24 again. Okay, and I just go back and look at my other list. Now, this tells me signs are the same. This tells me they're both minus. I'm going to have x minus, and I'm looking for factors that have a sum of 10. 4 and 6. So x equals 4 and x equals 6. Talk to you later. Bye.